And live from the WQAQ studio at Quinnipiac University, you are listening to Infinite Sports Radio on this very chilly Wednesday evening. As always, I thank you for joining us. I'm Kenneth Grunfelder along with Ben Upson, and we got a lot to discuss today. We got a special guest coming on today. Second half of the show, so really excited about that. Obviously, you heard the soundbite of the Green Bay Packers game, and we'll be talking with a very huge Green Bay Packers fan, one of my favorite YouTubers that I like to watch when it comes to sports content. So at about 6:30, we'll be talking to him about the Packers and the NFC playoff picture, the NFL playoff picture, rather. But a lot of stuff has happened over the last 24 hours, but we're going to talk about some baseball before we get into our Giants, typical Giants rant.
Some baseball.
And that is the Houston Astros. They have been in the news lately. After losing the World Series to the Nationals, it has come out that it looks like that the Astros kind of did some Spygate, some Deflategate type stuff by stealing signs. Now, that has been a problem, and teams have complained about it, but it was revealed yesterday in an article, over the course of sports media about the stuff with there was cameras involved, there was a monitor that would... So basically, the Astros had a camera out, I guess, in center field or something, and it would zoom in on the catcher's signs. And there apparently was a monitor in the dugout that the camera would have its signals to. It signals to that monitor, and I guess somebody in the dugout would see that, and whenever the pitch was like a changeup or an off-speed pitch or something like that, somebody in the Astros dugout would bang on a trash can to alert the batter that it was going to be an off-speed pitch and, don't swing at it. And then if the trash can wasn't, if they didn't bang on the trash can, it'd be a fastball, and they would take it. So you think about the Astros, they work the counts a lot. They're very disciplined at the plate, and you think that now, and you now kind of second guess yourself and think, wow, I guess that's the reason why they're so good at working counts at the plate. And it's just it's frustrating as a Yankee fan, as we're both Yankee fans, and hopefully the Astros get punished for it.
Yeah, I would certainly hope so too, Kenny. Danny Farquhar couldn't have said it any better when they reported on that game. He said, and for quote, "There was a banging from the dugout, almost like a bat hitting the bat rack, every time a changeup signal got put down." And it was evident because, John Boy. John Boy Media, I assume, right?
I kind of heard that he was involved in this. He
explained this really well. He really did. And,
it was a YouTube video, right? Something like that? Because I did watch a YouTube video of that yesterday, of that particular instance with Danny Farquhar.
Yes, it got so bad that he had to step off the mound.
Yeah, that's right. And they had to change their signs.
Now, will Major League Baseball do anything about, possibly revoking this Astros title in 2017? I highly doubt it. It's been 2 years past, but, I think there should definitely be some sort of penalty for this.
I mean, there definitely should. Really should. I mean, there definitely should be. I mean, when you see Aaron Judge tweet about this incident, it's a big problem.
Oh, it is.
And
this is just a bad image for Major League Baseball, too.
It's a very bad image, and this is it's like one of those things that I guess Rob Manfred really's got to step up and he's got to do something about it. I don't think he's really had to deal with anything as significant as major as something like this.
No, I don't think so.
There's been a couple of domestic violence cases and stuff like that, but this is something that really impacts the game, and this impacts our outlook on the game, and especially because the Yankees have lost to the Astros 2 of the last 3 seasons in the playoffs. We're kind of ticked off about this. And
very. I am.
And, you talk about guys like Altuve and Springer and Correa and how great these guys are, but now you kind of question them, too, especially with something like this. And, the World Series trophy, should it be revoked? Absolutely not. I think the Astros, they still deserve to win the championship. They were the best team. And why would the Dodgers want to accept something like that? Yeah, you lost the World Series, but, hey, we revoked the trophy from the Astros. You can have it now. The Dodgers are not going to want to do that. The Dodgers want to actually win the championship.
No, there's no reason for the MLB to do that. The Astros were a fantastic team that year, and
yeah, exactly.
They were better than the Dodgers.
And it went to 7 games this series. It's not like the Astros completely wiped the floor with the Dodgers and swept them.
And that was potentially the best World Series of the decade too.
I know exactly, and it's something
we saw that 13-12 game 5.
Yeah, exactly.
We saw that back and forth game 3 out in LA. I think it was. Yeah. It was a great series.
Yeah, it really was a great series. I mean, it was a series I really didn't pay attention to because at that point the Yankees were out. But like you said, it was one of the best World Series of this decade, and this really impacts them. Like there has to be penalties. They have to be held accountable for this, because A.J. Hinch, he should be suspended. I mean, you can't. Probably the most likely thing that they're going to do is take away draft picks.
That's my assumption too. I think that would probably be what happens. But
obviously, you don't really know, because again, nothing's happened yet. We're still kind of waiting on what they're going to do about this. But like I said, they need to be held accountable for this, because this is not something. This is like the Patriots. As good as the Patriots are, they've had their share of scandals. Not so much Deflategate, because Deflategate, come on, deflated footballs, and the final score that game was of the AFC Championship against Indianapolis was 45-7.
Right.
So it's not like it was a close game or anything like that. And it's not like and like I just said, it's not like the Astros swept the Dodgers in that series.
That was a fantastic series.
Yeah, it was a fantastic series. And the Nationals-Astros series, I mean, it was good. I wasn't as good as that one, because you had a lot of, it was either like, well, it was exciting when the Nationals, they would come back in the later innings at Houston. But like the 3 games in Washington, they were all pretty much blowouts. The Astros pretty much dominated. But I mean, this is serious, and it stinks as a Yankee fan, because this all comes out, and we just we keep losing.
First of all, not only
team, and now it's another thing to rant about, really.
Exactly. As a fan, it's like you lose that hard-fought series, which went 7 games. You lost 2-1 because of that throw to home. Sanchez couldn't bring it in.
Yeah.
That was the worst possible end of the series. Plus, this was also the end of Joe Girardi's Yankee managerial career.
That's right, yeah.
And to think that, potentially, we don't know how long or how much the Astros were actually using this. But, this is still in the early stages. But just to think that, the Astros winning that game and series could, that potentially cheating ended Joe Girardi's managerial career with the Yankees.
Yeah.
It's just annoying.
I was watching the Michael Kay show, their take on it, and they were saying how even if the Yankees were to get to the World Series and win it, they were saying how Girardi would have been there was still going to be a change regardless if they got to the World Series or not. Which I think. But they did say that there'd be more risk in firing him, because you if they won the championship, I mean, why are you going to fire your manager the following season and just start fresh? It wouldn't make sense. I mean, you changed, and honestly, I never thought I'd be saying this, but thanks to the Red Sox for eliminating the Astros in 2018.
Yeah.
I mean, funny. I mean, gotta love the Red Sox for that, I guess.
Yeah, true.
Because the Red Sox that dominated that series. I mean, that series looked like it was going to be a 2-0. The Red Sox would have been down 2-0, but the Astros were able to the Red Sox were able to rally in Game 2 and get the win, and they won the series in 5 games, and they were able to win the World Series. So thank you, Red Sox.
That's the one and only time we'll ever thank.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on, like let's be honest. Boston sports compared to, but you know what? Hey, that's a different story. But like, it's just disgusts me that this is what happens. I mean, this team, it's disciplined. I really like A.J. Hinch as the manager. I really do. I think he's one of the best, and this really kind of tarnishes his, I guess you want to say, short-term legacy so far as the Astros manager.
And to think, he's been a fantastic manager for this team.
Yeah, exactly.
Leading them to 2 World Series in the last 3 years. Practically. Now, was he with them in 2014?
I believe so. Because I know 2015 he definitely was. Cause
2015 was the year that franchise took a total 360, basically.
Yeah, and they eliminated the Yankees in the playoffs.
Yeah, and The Astros, it's just amazing to think about this turnaround, Kenny, because, this team was 51-111 in 2013, I think.
Yeah.
And to think in those 6 years' time, they would appear in 2 World Series and have multiple 100-win seasons. I don't know if I would have been thinking that. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you got to question a lot of their stuff. You got to question their, their record at home and away. I mean, it's just, it's difficult. It's a difficult situation.
I really don't know. I don't know what should be the ideal move here for the MLB, but I think a heavy fine should at least be in the cards. I think that's honestly the most that's probably the best option at this point because, like I said, we're not going to, be able to look back at every single game of that season and say, oh, yeah, the Astros were clearly cheating in this game. Or but it was evident, obviously, as John Boy explained that when in that White Sox game during the regular season. That was evident. That's for sure.
I mean, and also, you also got to factor in the postseason too, because obviously the home crowd, the home field advantage, the crowd the atmosphere is a lot different in the postseason than it is in the regular season. So obviously it's easier for them to do that stuff in the regular season because the crowd's not as lively and energetic as it is as opposed to a postseason game. I mean, it's a tough situation. It really is. I mean, it just angers me as a Yankee fan because we've had to deal with getting eliminated by this team. Yep. And, now it comes out that they're under investigation. They might, who knows? It's not a good look for the MLB. I'm not particularly happy right now. I'm just, as usual, when it comes to baseball, discussing my team and now this, but I don't want to, but we were talking about this off the air. I don't want to be salty about it. I don't want to be like, well, they cheated. I don't want to be like that because, you know what? The Yankees were not the better team in both of those series. The Astros were the better team. And, I don't know. It's just the other thing is though the Astros they really didn't hit in the series against the Yankees. They did. It's just they got big hits when they needed them. The Yankees didn't get big hits like the Astros did. So that was the difference in the series. If the Yankees were able to hit in that series and not have to constantly rely on their bullpen,
that team could have gone to the World Series.
They could have gone to the World Series, and who knows if they would have beat the Nationals or not. The way the Nationals played in that series, I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
But we'll see what happens with that, and we'll probably find out within the coming days, coming weeks. I would say.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
All right, so our last topic before we go to the break, before we have our guest on, is the New York Giants. Obviously, they played. They're also on a bye week like the Packers. The New York Giants, it's a reoccurring thing with this team. They played the battle for New York, quote unquote, this past Sunday against the New York Jets. Meanwhile, they play in New Jersey. There was no black cats. There was no ghosts. There was no vampires. Which
is shocking because Darnold saw ghosts. The Giants had a black cat. You'd think they'd come together.
Yeah, but Daniel Jones saw Jamal Adams, or in case you didn't see him. What can you say about this team? I mean, you got the Jets, you got the Giants. They're playing for nothing right now. Okay, they got two coaches that are just absolutely horrendous. And I really thought the Giants were going to win. I don't know why I did. I picked them in the spreads. I laid the 2.5. But it just boggles my mind how bad this team is. And there needs to be change. And it's scary to say that because the Giants have had a bad track record over the last 4 or 5 years of change.
They have.
And we're definitely going to discuss about this with our guest when he comes on, obviously, because, talk about football in general.
First of all.
All right, go ahead. You know what, because I just want to say, I've been saying this, I've had a lot of rants on this show the past, year and a half, I want to say. So, you know what, take the floor, go ahead, rant like you did last week with the Cowboys game. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, good. Well, here we go. First of all, I got to talk about the Jets first. Something's wrong when you see a push notification earlier today from Bleacher Report that says Adam Gase's job is safe.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot.
What? Are you kidding me? The New York Jets thought, just because Adam Gase has had a nice track record of coaching Peyton Manning and all, that makes him a great head coach. Well, you know what? The Jets are not... This team is not good right now. Why would they want to hang on to Adam Gase? Seriously, in all due respect. And, you mentioned about the Battle of New York. Shut up. No. This was hardly a Battle of New York at all. Oh my God. Look, the Giants, as a fan, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous that we cannot even beat the New York Jets. The defense, first of all, is beyond treacherous. The secondary is terrible. There's nothing good to say about this team right now. And why was Pat Shurmur not fired this past week? Why? The Giants better be firing these, Betcher, Shurmur. They gotta freaking get them out of there because it's ridiculous right now. how bad this Giants team is. So, Battle of New York, yeah, hardly, but either way, both of these organizations are clearly failing right now, and they need change quickly. Otherwise, the reputation's just going to carry right into next year, and we're going to be sitting here, Kenny, we'll be sitting here next year, same darn time, and talking about how bad these teams are. Yep.
That's why it's good that we're having...
Put the CD in, put it on loop, because that's basically what's going to happen.
And that's why it's good that we're having our guest on who has a football team that you can actually praise and talk about the good stuff about that team. Now, the team is flawed,
exactly.
But, it'll be nice to talk about that.
It'll be good stress relief. Oh, yeah, and one last thing. Daniel Jones, hold on to the ball, will you? You can't let freaking Jamal Adams come right up to you and snatch it right out of your hands like, dear Lord, come on. What does Daniel Jones not understand in ball possession? What does he not get?
I don't know. Look, he's a rookie.
I get that.
Yeah. But you're right though. At some point, if you play football all your years at Duke, okay, playing football. And just playing football in general, with whatever.
And he was good at Duke. I've seen some video of him at Duke. He was really good.
Yeah, exactly. And granted, he had guys that just dropped the ball. You need to listen. Look. First, I just want to say I think he's our franchise quarterback for the future. I think he is.
I sure hope so.
He has the intangibles.
I sure do.
He has the intangibles to be that franchise quarterback. Now, ball security is not his strength right now. And
no,
it's just.
For sure.
It's just really frustrating because now it could be It could be corrected, but I mean you should be able to. Look, you have a bye week to figure it out. 10 games into the season, you should be able to correct those mistakes. Considering you were starting, technically 8 games because he started week 3. Well, he did fumble in the Dallas game. Let's not forget that when he got put in for relief. After that blowout. Look, you need to correct he needs to correct this. Okay,
and let's let Jamal Adams just walk right up and steal the dang ball away.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
No, because you got to correct this because if you continue this, it's a problem. It's going to be a bigger problem in bigger games when this team's actually competitive. But who knows when this team's going to be competitive? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's just. It's frustrating, and the coach said, we did some things good. We could improve on stuff. We got to improve to go like this is same the 3-minute spiel, the copy and paste, 20 word, 30 words of we got to improve. We can do this, we can do that. But what are you going to do? Okay, what are you going to do? You lost to the Jets, who the week prior lost to the Dolphins.
The Miami Dolphins.
And the Dolphins actually won again.
They beat the Colts 2 in a row.
Yeah. I mean, come on. The Jets, they look like a team that gave up on their head coach. Like I said last week, the Giants they like Pat Shurmur. They want to play for this guy and keep his job. I don't want him to keep his job. I want him out of here. I want him out of here, especially Betcher. If Pat Shurmur's not going after this year, at least if Betcher's gone, you could be like, all right. At least when
was the last time the Giants at least had a halfway decent defensive coordinator? Come on, Spagnuolo, did he help us out that much?
No. You'd have to go back to the Super Bowl, the last Super Bowl. Perry Fuel.
Perry Fuel. Holy
Perry Fuel. That's the last time the Giants really had a good defensive coordinator. Now, granted, they had a JPP that had 2 full hands, 2 full sets of fingers. You had Justin Tuck. You had Osi Umenyiora.
Yep.
Matthias Kiwanuka. The list goes on.
Kiwanuka, holy
yeah, I know.
Dude, you're really jumping into the vault.
Chris Canty, Aaron Ross, Kenny Phillips, Prince Amukamara, who's playing for the Bears.
Dude, those were the days. Wow.
And don't forget Antro Roll. Yeah. Don't forget Antro Roll, who I actually met. I actually met him. He was doing a signing at one of the sports authorities by my town, and I was able to meet him. And that was before the 2014 season was actually his last year as a Giant. I loved Antro Roll. That was the last time we had a good defense, a good defensive coordinator, and it's just this team is just in a downward spiral. It's been like that for the last several years. They need to fix it. Because, look, this team, this fan base, like us, we're part of the fan base, right? We're part of the fan base? Yeah. We're tired of this, okay? We need to get back to Giant football. We need to get back to just being able to run the football. And, and how about Saquon Barkley? 13 carries for 1 yard. I mean, it's just
Saquon. You're better than that.
Now, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to say, look, the guys maybe not be 100%.
Right.
But
that's true.
But, I mean, guys that aren't 100% usually get more than just 1 yard on 13 carries.
We interrupt this with a breaking news update. Jacob deGrom wins his second NL Cy Young Award.
Oh, okay, all right. I got scared. I thought he was getting traded or something.
I just, I had to say that, folks.
See another thing.
So Jacob deGrom, another fantastic season for Jacob deGrom. Of course.
Yeah.
Give him a round of applause.
Yeah, and you know what? Next, you got to give him some run support. Okay,
that's true too.
Yeah. Okay, but back to a team that's probably even worse than the Mets, because the Mets actually, they might.
But anyways, yes, Saquon, you're better.
Yeah,
you're better. 13 carries for 1 yard.
Even a guy
channel that inner Penn State ability.
Listen,
come on.
Listen. Look, Eli Manning in some games can get more than 1 yard. I mean, come on.
Wayne Gallman can get more than 1 yard.
This is the Jets' defense that it hasn't played to its full potential this year. It's like awful.
You get 1 yard. 1 yard.
I mean, weird. I mean, you make Demaryius Thomas look like he's back in 2014. I mean,
what is it? Peyton Manning throwing him on the Broncos again? No, it's Sam Darnold.
But to give Sam Darnold credit, he did play a good game.
He did?
He played a good game. And you know what? Hey, when you play against a terrible team like the New York Giants, you're supposed to beat them. And granted, look, the Jets had 1 win at this point, but now they got 2. And you know what? Hey, they're going to finish with a better record than the Giants. Which, listen.
That's even more sad.
It's you know what? It's brutal. It's brutal. It's just not. I mean, what else can you say? It's terrible. This team really needs to, and we're looking at the Maras because John Mara left. He was very frustrated. Something needs to happen to get this team right because we're not going anywhere.
You're right.
And the fact that we brought back Eli for this season was a complete failure, was a mistake. You should have left. You shouldn't let Eli go. You should have said thank you. We appreciate it. Go on a high note because they did play well. Yeah, exactly.
This music sets the mood right now.
Yeah, exactly. Let Eli go off gracefully. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He won big games for us. And hey, our guest is a Packers fan. We're going to bring up the Super Bowls with the beating the Packers 15-1 and stuff like that. I don't know if he's listening right now, but we might squeeze that in. But of course, something happened in 2016 that kind of eradicates all that. But look, this team has just been an utter embarrassment. And, New York sports, we're just not, we're not good right now.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of New York sports, you want to hear another? Yep. Nope. Kill the music. Okay. Yep. The New York Knicks. I know we have a couple minutes, but here, just want to say, the New York Knicks. This team is 2-9 right now, okay? Just when you think they have a fighting chance in a game for once, you're up 2 against the Bulls with 10 minutes left, okay? What happens there? Oh, yep, the Bulls go on a 19-0 run. We make Kobe White look like he's freaking Steph Curry making all these threes. Last night was a terrible game. I don't Kenny, like you said, New York sports. Where James Dolan... You guys don't offer Kevin Durant a max. We could have... The Knicks... Imagine if the Knicks got that number 1 lottery pick. Imagine if the Knicks actually offered Kevin Durant a max contract. Imagine. What's going on at the Garden? We don't understand. I don't understand. This... Oh, something's all wrong with New York sports right now, Kenny. The Giants, the Knicks, the Mets... Where are all these good teams that we used to know? Where were the 70s Knicks? Where were the 69 Mets? Where were the 1994 Rangers? There's been no titles in New York, in the last, 15 years? I don't even know. What was the last? 10. That's right. Yeah, when the Yankees won the last one.
Yeah.
Yep. Meanwhile, all the Boston fans are like, oh my God, the Red Sox, the Patriots, oh my God. Well, look, congratulations, but, it'd be nice if you guys could spread the love into the New York area, too. But, nope, apparently not. So, get James Dolan away from this franchise, because this franchise is going nowhere with him at the helm. Knicks are 2-9. We'll be coming here next week. They might have 3 wins if they're lucky. So, sorry, I had to go off on the Knicks. Sorry.
I mean... You put it perfectly.
Oh, yeah, wait, I forgot.
it's terrible. I mean, what else can you say? It's hard. It's hard being a New York sports fan right now. We need change. Okay, you talk about not to bring politics in this. You talk about America needing change, whatever. New York sports needs change.
Needs a big change in a big way.
Because we need to be happy. Okay, because for the last 2 years, we've seen here at school, we see Boston fans parading around the Bobcat statue, and we want to do that. We New York sports, we want to do that. We're tired of just constantly dealing with this misery and just coming up short every year. Come on, give us a chance. Come on, we got to get some guys in here that can get the job done. We need good leadership. We need some guys that come in here that want to play, that know how to play, and are not overpaid old veterans. Okay, we need some fresh blood.
Seriously.
The Yankees did that with their young core. The Giants, they're starting to do that. All right, but bringing in guys like Antoine Bethea, who's 37 years old, get him out. Okay, all right. And
the only team that I think has hope right now in New York is probably the New York Islanders.
That's
13-2
right.
under Barry Trotz. Fantastic coach. Everyone else, yep, you're on the poop list. So
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It stinks. It's terrible.
It does.
It really is.
Does.
I mean, what else can you say? Better days are ahead, but you just you don't know when. You don't know when those better days are going to come. Honestly, if Pat Shurmur gets fired after the season, throw a parade. Really. What else can you do? It's
I think the team's going to pop champagne in the locker room after he gets fired.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. It's a tough spot.
It is. It is.
All right, so I guess we'll take a break for now. When we come back, we'll hopefully have our guest on and talk about a winning team and talk about the NFC and NFL playoff picture as a whole. So stick around. We'll be right back here on Infinite Sports Radio.
That's going to be fun. Stay tuned.